Okay. Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing well. My name is Buchanan, as Lisa said. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Good?
Yeah.
I'm one of the organizers of today's Defend the Water action, along with many other great folks who are in the crowd with us today. I want to deeply thank Summer so much for taking her time and energy to come out and do a land acknowledgement for us. It's so important. And I want to acknowledge on behalf of the organizers of the event, who are mostly settlers on this territory, that we are organizing in solidarity with the Coast Salish peoples who have been leading the fight and protection against the Kinder Morgan pipeline for many, many years. So like Lisa said, I want to talk a little bit about why we are all here today in Ottawa. As many of us know, Kinder Morgan is poised to start a key phase of construction on a pipeline and tanker project that will put hundreds of rivers and streams at risk of oil spills. On March 10th, Coast Salish spiritual leaders and members raised a traditional Coast Salish watch house near the Kinder Morgan pipeline route, and 10,000 people in Metro Vancouver marched in solidarity. So today, which is March 23rd, these leaders have called for a national day of action. It's called Defend the Water. Water is a powerful tool for communicating what is at stake with building the Kinder Morgan pipeline. With the escalation on the West Coast, today is a key date to send the message on a national scale that people all across Canada stand in solidarity with opposition on the ground. And then we want Trudeau, Catherine McKenna, and all members of Parliament to know that this pipeline will not be built. If you're still in doubt that this pipeline should not be built, here are some key facts that we know to be true that I hope will convince you. This pipeline is going to increase tanker traffic. The Kinder Morgan pipeline would increase traffic in the Salish Sea by over 700%, threatening species like orcas, herring, and salmon that are vital to the culture of coastal First Nations. There is a heightened spill risk. There is already a Kinder Morgan pipeline. On average, it spills every 4 years. With the twinning, the spills would happen on average once every year. This is not acceptable. Inflated job creation. Kinder Morgan, the Alberta and federal governments have grossly overinflated the number of jobs that are created by this pipeline and fail to acknowledge that renewable energy employs more workers on average than both oil and gas combined. This pipeline clearly violates Indigenous rights and the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Justin Trudeau claims that this pipeline respects Indigenous rights and that his government is committed to a renewed nation-to-nation relationship. But right now, multiple First Nations are literally taking this government to court for approving the pipeline because of lack of adequate consultation. So support for this pipeline directly contradicts the UN DRIP principle of free, prior, and conformed consent. And finally, growing local resistance. The people of BC literally elected a government in the last provincial election that vowed to use every tool available to them to stop the Kinder Morgan pipeline, and tens of thousands of people have signed up to take direct action to stop this pipeline. So if that information does not convince you that this pipeline is a bad move, I don't know what will. So today's Day of Action, which is organized by Lead Now and a group of us in Ottawa, is not about being arrested. It is about showing our solidarity with Coast Salish people and showing dissent to Trudeau, Catherine McKenna, and other Liberal MPs. But I do want to give you an update from the ground out west, a couple of things that have happened. So 3 waves of civil disobedience have occurred since March 10th to protect the inlet. More than 85 people have been arrested resisting this pipeline, and many more, including Indigenous leaders, have stood by in solidarity. Among those who have taken actions are a former Trans Mountain employee, a Greenpeace founder, a retired teacher, grandparents, nurses, students, youth, and so many more. It is clear that people from all walks of life are ready to do what it takes to stop this pipeline and to stand up for Indigenous rights and for our climate. So if you're with them, and if you're with us, I want you to repeat after me. This pipeline will not be built.
This pipeline will not be built.
This pipeline will not be built.
This pipeline will not be built. This pipeline will not be built. pipeline will not be built. This pipeline will not be built. This pipeline will not be built.
So, to get us all excited about telling Catherine McKenna that the profit of a Texas-based oil company is not worth putting our future at risk, we have some chants that we like to go over with you.